Hello and a warm welcome to Federal's special program, Capital Beat. Is Shivraj Singh Chouhan the longest-serving Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh being sidelined by BJP and Prime Minister? That's the question which everyone is asking, especially after BJP came out with its second list of candidates for the upcoming polls. BJP has fielded some big hitters like General Secretary Kailash Vijayvargiya. Apart from that, some union ministers like Prahlad Patel, Narendra Singh Tomar, Fagan Singh Kulaste. Not only union ministers, there's also a list of Lok Sabha MPs like Ganesh Singh, Uday Pratap Singh, Riti Pathak, Rakesh Singh. Now, the extent of their deployment has taken many people within the party by surprise. But the question we are asking today is that is this BJP's last bet of hope for Madhya Pradesh? And is actually Shivraj Singh Chouhan being sidelined in the real sense? Joining me now is Sharad Gupta, senior journalist and editor. Thank you so much for joining. We have Vivek Deshpande, senior journalist, joining us from Nagpur. Thank you so much for joining. And we also have Puneet Nicholas Yadav, who's the editor with the Federal. Thank you so much for joining, Puneet. And I'd like to begin with Sharad Gupta. Sharad, what you feel is BJP's strategy? And if I may ask you, do you think that the party has really sidelined Shivraj Singh Chouhan?
You know, the way Shivraj Singh Chouhan addressed his cabinet colleagues yesterday, it was kind of a farewell speech, as if he was bidding goodbye and he doesn't hope to come back. So that's one thing. Secondly, the way all the big guns have been fielded, that also gives a hint that any one of them may be picked for the chief ministership in case BJP comes to power again, which is highly unlikely at this point. Thirdly, the fact that all the big guns have been fielded also goes on to show that BJP isn't confident about its chances and it doesn't have confidence in its incumbent chief minister, Mr. Shivraj Singh Chouhan. So one thing is there that since all the big guns have been fielded, so that also shows that they also have an intent to kill. Means they want to win at any cost. They want to win at any cost. So that is the reason that they have fielded all the senior leaders like Kailash Singh Patel and Narendra Singh Tomar and everybody has been fielded. So the cabinet ministers and the MPs, they have fielded. So that gives a rise that gives a feeling that BJP isn't confident about its chances in assembly elections. And the chief minister being the head of state and the election should have been contested in his name, and the fact that he is not there in the campaign, election is being fought in the name of Mr. Modi. So that goes on to show that chief minister is on and BJP is also on a very, very weak.
Okay. Now, what is your sense, Puneet, if I may ask you that what are the broader indications of this second list and the way the party is trying to maneuver its election strategy, having fielded the union ministers, having fielded the Lok Sabha MPs, though the strategy is not new. And I was just looking at a list of how many times BJP has repeated this formula earlier as well in West Bengal, in Tripura, and not much success has come to BJP with that. So how hopeful is BJP with this new strategy, if I may ask you?
Nilu, as you said, that this is, this is something that the BJP has tried earlier too. But with the exception of Tripura, where, they fielded Ms. Bhaumik, who was a sitting Lok Sabha MP, and she was asked to contest the assembly polls. If you look at their experience of fielding MPs and ministers, union ministers in state elections, there are two aspects of it. One, it has generally been done in elections where the BJP finds the stakes for itself to be very high. Bengal was a classic example. uh, and so is Madhya Pradesh now. Uh, to some extent, one may even consider Kerala as an example, when the BJP was very hopeful that they'll be able to at least win a couple of seats in Kerala. And the election in which they had, the last election in which they had, fielded KJ Alphonse, who was a union minister, and a couple of other, senior BJP, one more BJP MP, I forget his name, uh, you know. But these at the same time, so I mean, it conveys an intent of how seriously the party takes the election. But at the same time, it also betrays panic within the party. And that is definitely very true with regard to Madhya Pradesh, because Madhya Pradesh, the general sense is, and if you ask anybody in the BJP in Madhya Pradesh today, uh, forget asking people from the Congress, but if you ask anybody from the BJP in Madhya Pradesh, they will say that it's a very tough election, perhaps the toughest that they'll contest after 2003, and the chances are not looking good at all. So it's clearly a panic reaction to that. But at the same time, I would say that it's also important to see the constituencies in which these union ministers and MPs have been fielded from. There are 3 union ministers, 4 sitting MPs who've been fielded, so that takes it to 7. Out of these 7, 5 of them have been fielded in constituencies which the BJP had lost in 2018 by various margins. The margins weren't huge, but by various margins between 15,000 and 25,000 votes. Also, some of these MPs, Union Minister Prahlad Patel, your Uday Pratap Singh, these are Riti Pathak, who's the MP from CD. These are people who have been MPs, but who've never contested an assembly election. It will be their first assembly election. They have also changed the seats of some of, so Mr. Kailash Vijayvargiya, for example, when he used to contest, and he's had a long innings, he's been an MLA 6 terms. But for those 6 terms, 4 of those terms, he was an MLA from Indore 4 constituency. 2 of those terms, he was an MLA from the Mau Ambedkar Nagar constituency. He has now been fielded from Indore 1. And I'm not saying that he'll win or he'll lose. He's definitely in Indore. He's the foremost leader, cutting across party lines. It's been his bastion for decades, from the time he was mayor of Indore. But and the only friction that he's had is internally within the BJP, as long as Sumitra Mahajan was active in politics.
Yes.
So that was the camp, but Indore 1 is a very different constituency than Indore 4 or Mau, and it has, the last time the Congress had won that seat by a very big margin, So, to field him from there, and I'm assuming that the Congress will field its sitting MLA Sanjay Shukla from that seat. And Sanjay Shukla and Kailash Vijayvargiya have an old rivalry. Both of them are musclemen in their respective parties and from the Indore district, and with both money power and muscle power. So it's going to be a clash of that too. But if you see Mr. Vijayvargiya's statements, he's clearly not very happy. He said that I had thought that I will not contest this election. I've become a big leader, etc. And it's not a constituency that he has been nurturing over the years. He's either nurtured Indore 3, Indore 4, or Mau and Ambedkar Nagar.
Right.
Those were the seats that he would have been more comfortable with. We'll also have to wait and see, because the candidate for Indore 3 has not been announced. Right. It was his son that had contested the election. He had tried to, establish his son in the last assembly election. and that whole controversy of his son beating a public servant with a cricket bat happened during that infamous episode happened. So whether the party feels his son again, does he get a ticket? If he doesn't get a ticket, Mr. Vijayvargiya clearly is not going to be very thrilled about it. So even, if you look beyond the mere fact of these 7 MPs and union ministers being fielded, the internal dynamics and the constituency-wise dynamics also do not favor, they're not looking very good for the BJP.
Before I come to Vivek, one small question, Sharaji, I wanted to ask you that, say, for example, Kailash Vijayvargiya's statement this morning of giving speeches during elections, I thought of campaigning, and now here, I read that I have to contest elections. Now, it does show some kind of a resentment in his mind, though he has taken it very sportingly. But what about other leaders? There are other Lok Sabha MPs. If a Lok Sabha MP is asked to contest for an MLA election, or a union minister, other union ministers like Narendra Singh Tomar, Prahlad Patel, after being a union minister, if they are being asked to contest for an assembly election, is it not some kind of a demotion? How will it be seen in the Madhya Pradesh political circles, and also otherwise? How would the party cadres and the leaders take this move of BJP? Because I still remember during the last session, Prime Minister, when he was meeting different blocks of MPs, he did tell them that be ready to fight even the municipal elections. A Rajya Sabha MP can contest for municipal elections. He did mention that. So how are the party leaders taking this move by the BJP? Yes, Sharaji.
I don't think senior leaders have taken it kindly, very sportingly. And Kailash Vijayvargiya's statement goes on to show that. It clearly says that I thought I was a big leader, but now I've been reduced to being a MLA candidate. He doesn't even know that if he doesn't win, so what lies in store for him. So another example, similar example if assembly could be drawn, it was Randeep Surjewala, who is a big leader and who was made to contest the assembly election, and he lost. So although it didn't affect his political career, but in BJP, I don't think that a loss will be taken so sportingly, especially since Mr. Vijayvargiya is already on the sidelines for quite some time. So in case other MPs or ministers who have been asked to contest, they also lose, so even their career will be slightly jeopardized. So as I told earlier, that the fact that these ministers and MPs, all the big guns, have been asked to contest, so BJP is not taking any chances. Even if they are regular candidates, they could have won, so they wouldn't have asked the big guns to come and contest the assembly election. So that is one reason that, but BJPs also have this killer instinct that they will not take anything lying down.
If you think from BJP's perspective, would this move also not be taken as something where they are trying to, or the party is trying to shake up the complacency, shake up the people that, look, you've been sleeping, now it's time for you to contest, you've been sitting pretty comfortably. Is that also not a message which BJP is trying to give?
That is there. That of course is there, but a leader who could have affected, say, 10 to 15 constituencies, now he'll be reduced to contesting his own election.
Right.
And then there will be similar spite and competition within the party and among the district leaders, constituency leaders, MP leaders. Within an MP constituency, there are so many assembly constituencies, so there will be competition, there will be spitefulness. So I don't think it's a very good move, but for BJP, they didn't have much option because they wanted to win at any cost. And fielding big guns means they already start with an advantage. As in a, say, 400 relay or in marathon, not in marathon, but in certain races, to give a headway to certain lanes. So similarly, so BJP is trying to gain a headway by fielding the big guns. But I don't think they are going to take it very light and very sportingly.
Right. But Vivek, if I may ask you that, Kamal Nath was saying that BJP has already accepted defeat, it seems. Now, do you see this move where fielding Lok Sabha MPs, fielding the union ministers, fielding someone like Kailash Vijayvargiya, would it be an acceptance of defeat according to you? Or is it like really a new move which can invigorate the party? Because people know that there's a lot of anti-incumbency against Shivraj Singh Chouhan. How would you really see this? You'll have to unmute yourself, Vivek. Unmute yourself.
Yeah. Can I?
Yeah.
Okay. So, no, I think what he's saying is possibly a very political statement. I won't say that, but there's certainly some amount of panic in the BJP. The manner in which so many central leaders and MPs have been fielded, it certainly shows panic, and complete lack of faith in the leadership of the incumbent chief minister. When Mr. Modi addressed this Karyakarta Mahakumbh in Bhopal recently, he did not take the chief minister's name also. When he was on the stage, he did not name him. He spoke about central schemes only. He did not speak about any state scheme. And he spoke about himself. He said the guarantee of all the schemes succeeding is only because of Modi. So as is his habit, I mean, he speaks about himself, that we have seen for a long time now. So the point is, he is trying to sell himself now because he sees absolutely no hope in any other thing. So this seems to be a last-ditch effort of Mr. Modi and BJP to stay afloat in states where the party is facing very stiff competition from Congress. The same goes in Rajasthan. See, they are planning to field central ministers even in Rajasthan. That's the news that is coming out now. Yeah. So there is a fair amount of panic in the BJP. Mr. Modi feels that his name will sell. So he is talking about central schemes. We have come to know that they are going to organize, the central government is going to organize some yatras in lakhs of villages across the country where they are going to saturate the minds of the people with the success of the central schemes. So Mr. Modi feels that the state leadership is not strong enough to ensure victory for the party on its own. And unfortunately, these leaders like the present chief minister, their success has predated Modi. See, Sumitra Mahajan, for example, she was an MP from Indore since 80s. So there was no Modi around at that time. So people like her and the chief minister, they don't owe their success to the Modi magic. Modi magic came to front in 2014. So their success has predated Modi, and the manner in which they are being treated now, as if Modi were not to be there, they are nobody. I mean, their presence is not going to ensure any victory for the BJP, any success for the BJP. That is the kind of treatment being meted out to them. Secondly, you rightly pointed out that this is a kind of demotion for the people who have been working at the center as union ministers. There have been people who have been MPs for more than 4 occasions, which means that, again, when they won for the first time or second time, there was no Modi magic around. So these people have been asked to fight assembly elections. What will they do? Now, if so many people have been asked to fight assembly elections, only one of them is going to be the chief minister. What is going to happen to the rest of those? They will be either ministers in the state cabinet, which is clearly a demotion. So the panic in the BJP is showing.
Right.
And Mr. Modi is now trying to sell himself with the central schemes and with his personality cult. There's no other way left for the BJP to ensure success in states where it is the party is fighting with its back to the wall. That is in MP and Rajasthan as well. I don't know what is going to be the strategy in Chhattisgarh, because they have not done this in case of Chhattisgarh, or maybe they will do it. In MP, what they have done is that in the two lists they have come out with so far, most of the names have been most of the people have been named in the constituencies where the BJP has lost, which clearly means that the party wants to give them more time to prepare. And why the party wants to give them more time to prepare is because they need to prepare a lot. If they want to ensure success, they need to prepare a lot. They need a lot of time, which again is another indicator that the party is not really, and of course the ground reports, the yatras which they have taken out, those yatras did not have much success. That is the ground report from both Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. So Mr. Modi is now trying to be seen everywhere with his personality cult as well as the central schemes. That is their last ditch effort to ensure success in these states,
Right.
which I very much doubt, because already if the people have made up their mind, then nothing is going to change the situation on the ground.
Yeah.
So clearly the panic is showing. Neil. That's the
Absolutely.
indicator.
Yeah. Yeah, but as you were saying, Puneet, if I may come to you, that is BJP repeating its mistakes, uninterruptedly, in the sense that Himachal also they sold everything in the name of Modi. Karnataka, they made the same mistakes where they sidelined Yadurappa, and then later on they realized that no, they cannot survive without him. And then at the last moment they brought him in, and by that time it was too late. And now again, in Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh also, the sitting chief ministers or the chief ministerial candidate like Vasundhara is being sidelined. Now, can we assume or can we say that probably Prime Minister Narendra Modi is making the same mistakes which Congress made in the yesteryears of sidelining its powerful regional leaders like Amrinder Singh and like, others as well? There are many examples of that. So is BJP making the same mistakes which Congress once did?
Well, I would agree with that entirely. But you see, what the BJP and what Mr. Modi have failed to understand is, if you look at the trajectory and the kind of how state elections have panned out after 2014, once the initial buoyancy of the 2014 mandate started ebbing, they made this habit of contesting the elections only in Modi's name. And if you actually look at state-wise breakup of the electoral results, it has very rarely worked in favor of the BJP at the state level. I'm not saying that Mr. Modi, this is because Mr. Modi's charisma has taken a hit, or the state leadership is incapable or whatever. The factors may be different from state to state, but this is a strategy that has not worked for the BJP in the states. And there are n number of examples. After 2014, if you actually sit and recount the number of state elections that the BJP has lost, despite Mr. Modi's blitzkrieg, despite the campaign, despite the party asking votes in his name, despite this whole double engine sarkar, all of that, they have consistently lost in state elections. Jharkhand, Delhi, Punjab.
Absolutely.
2018, when Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, all of them were lost. And there are several other, Bihar in 2015. There are several examples. Haryana, they failed to get a clear majority in 2019. Maharashtra, they failed to form a government because of various reasons. So there are, the reasons may differ from state to state, but that is a reality, that what sells in a national election may not necessarily sell in a state election. The second element to this is that, as you were pointing out, Mr. Modi seems to have, he has this kind of fondness of, on the one hand, abusing the Congress, but on the other hand, emulating all the worst practices of the Congress party. So just the way Mrs. Indira Gandhi, from the late 1970s, early, and also, the last 5 years of her life, went on to systematically demolish the satraps in the satraps in the states. That is exactly what Mr. Modi has done from 2014 onwards. Mr. Shivraj Singh Chouhan is now the only surviving chief minister of the BJP from the Atal Advani era.
Yeah.
Now, the BJP may argue that Mr. Prahlad Patel and Mr. Fagan Singh Kulaste had also served in Mr. Bajpayee's cabinet, but they were junior ministers.
Yeah.
They were not cabinet ministers. If you actually look at Mr. Modi's cabinet, the only one who has survived from the Atal Advani era is Mr. Rajnath Singh.
Right.
And the factors for that are very different.
Right.
So you've systematically demolished strong leadership. Where is Ms. Vasundhara Raje today? Where is Mr. Raman Singh today? These are all people, as Vivek was pointing out, they were chief ministers for multiple terms and they did not owe their chief ministership or their political and electoral clout to Mr. Modi. But you have completely sidelined all of them. And same is the case now with Mr. Shivraj Singh Chouhan. So that is there. And one quick point I wanted to add, that if you look at these 7 ministers, the 3 union ministers and the 4 MPs, even region-wise in Madhya Pradesh, where they have been fielded from, these are all regions where the Congress is on a stronger footing, and the BJP has lost a lot of its heft. For instance, in the Narsinghpur district, there are only 4 assembly seats in Narsinghpur district. Out of those 4 assembly seats, on 2 assembly seats, you have 2 union ministers contesting. Mr. Uday Pratap Singh, who's the MP from Hoshangabad, he has been fielded from Gadarwara. And Mr. Prahlad Patel, who's the MP from Damo, has been fielded from Narsinghpur after his brother has been, denying his brother a ticket, who's the sitting MLA. Similarly, Riti Pathak has been fielded from Satna district, where that famous urine episode happened.
Sidhi,
sorry. She has been given a ticket from the constituency that was won by Kedar Shukla. Kedar Shukla is the guy who's the sitting MLA of the BJP from there, and it was his election representative, election agent, who was the main accused in that urine episode. And there has been a major backlash in and this falls in the Vindhyachal region. So, there has been a backlash on the BJP in Vindhyachal because of that episode. And you fielded her from there. You fielded Ganesh Singh, who's the MP from Satna. He has been asked to contest from there. So even that needs to be looked at.
Absolutely. Now, I'm coming for the concluding comments to Sharadji and Vivek. Sharadji, now if I may ask you, whether it is Rajasthan, whether it is Madhya Pradesh and sidelining of Vasundhara, sidelining of Shivraj Singh Chouhan, is this strategy going to cost BJP dearly? Which probably, maybe BJP must be having some strategy in its mind, but is that going to cost BJP dearly? Both the states I'm talking about, yes.
As far as Rajasthan is concerned, in Rajasthan, Vasundhara Raje has been alternating with Ashok Gehlot as Chief Minister for last 20 years, more than 20 years now. And Mr. Modi, the Prime Minister of India, he is not getting along well with Vasundhara Raje ever since he took over as Prime Minister in 2014. So the first fracas came when Mr. Nihal Singh was appointed as in the Union Cabinet, much against Vasundhara Raje's wishes. And Vasundhara has been single-handedly taking BJP to electoral victory in every alternative election. So if we are sidelining her, that's going to cost BJP dearly in Rajasthan, especially since picture was tweeted by both Vasundhara as well as Congress leaders, wherein some Congress screening committee leaders from Rajasthan, they were photographed. They themselves got a selfie clicked with Vasundhara at the airport. And it was a very unusual photograph, and Vasundhara also shared the photograph. So she is clearly giving signals that she can't be taken at the face value. And she has, in fact, confided in her confidence that even if she's asked to campaign now, So she'll be doing just superficially, with not full heart. And if she is sidelined, then she'll be silently working for the Congress. So there is clear writing on the wall
Right.
for Congress now, that Congress is winning in Rajasthan, and BJP is on a very, very sticky wicket.
Right.
Similarly, in Madhya Pradesh also, dissension and internecine feuds, and I'll not be surprised if even Jyotiraditya Scindia is asked to contest assembly elections.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. This might be a possibility. But my last question to you, Vivek, that what is it really going to lead to now? Are we going to see some kind of implosion within the party? Because when we see the state units where, you have central ministers coming in and contesting elections, is it going to lead to an implosion within the BJP? There will be a lot of resentment. And how long will the people keep quiet? I mean, of course, right now they don't have the courage to speak up. But how long can they keep quiet? That's also a question. So what is it leading up to for BJP? Yes.
Yeah. Nilu, I think that's a very good question. And I was going to talk about that only. You see, as I previously said, many of these leaders' success has predated Modi. They did not need Modi for their success. And if Mr. Modi can be Chief Minister of Gujarat for 3 terms and he can aspire to be Prime Minister for the 3rd term as well, what is the fault of these leaders who want to be Chief Minister again? I mean, if Vasundhara wants to be the Chief Minister of Rajasthan, why should Mr. Modi prevent her from being one? And what is the fault with Mr. Chouhan? I mean, if the same opportunity goes to him or Vasundhara, why should Modi grudge it? Why should Modi deny it? So that is, see, we have seen a virtual authoritarian rule over the country by Mr. Modi. That is the case also within the BJP. Within the BJP also, many top leaders do not have any voice. And Mr. Modi's writ runs. Only Mr. Modi's writ runs there. So that must have created a lot of disquiet within the BJP. And as we come to know from various sources, there's certainly a lot of disquiet within the BJP. Whether it will explode, and when will it explode, whether this kind of machinations in the state elections will be seen as an opportunity for those leaders to have their say finally, we don't know. But it can certainly be one of the potential conflict points between Mr. Modi and the regional leadership. So let's wait and see what happens, Neelu.
Yeah, lots to wait for. And of course, we'll have to wait and watch whether Shivraj Singh Chouhan gets to contest elections this time or not, or will he be playing the role of what Kailash Vijayvargiya has been doing all this while for the party, campaigning and communicating things for the BJP. All eyes would be on that. Thank you so much, Sharad Gupta, Puneet, Vivek. Thank you so much for joining the debate. And one appeal to the viewers who are watching this discussion, subscribe to our channel, send us your feedback, and stay tuned to the Federal. Thank you.
Subscribe to the Federal's YouTube page for more news and updates.